Let's go!
Nah, I'm open. I'm always open. Excuse my profanity.
Saquon Barkley move away because the true OPOY is Jahmyr Chase, first wide receiver, 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns in a single season. So you're telling me a wide receiver who had a better year than Cooper Kupp's legendary Triple Crown just a few years ago is a guy that's not actually going to win OPOY? Are you freaking kidding me? And I understand Saquon Barkley did his thing, 2,000 rushing yards, and was unable to, of course, go over the Eric Dickerson record because, well, Nick Sirianni decided to rest him. But there is no player that impacts a defensive game plan outside of the quarterback position like number one for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, why am I so adamant about this? Well, Jahmyr Chase produced equally as well without T. Higgins in the lineup and with T. Higgins in the lineup. So this is not a case where he had a guy opposite him giving him good matchups. No, Jahmyr Chase beat sometimes single, sometimes double coverage. And what I would remind everyone is, has there ever been a wide receiver after the catch more dangerous than Jahmyr Chase with the football in his hands? And I'll even go one step further. Would I prefer in the open field Jahmyr Chase with the football in his hands or Saquon Barkley? I think most of us would say Saquon, but I think that is a little bit closer than we would like to admit. All those clips were from earlier in the season, but Jahmyr Chase decided to show the world on Saturday Night Football. It still sounds kind of weird coming out of my mouth. That he is deserving of this award. Obviously, you can't give this man single coverage because he'll do this to you. And the beauty is the technicality, right? He has a backup DB going against him. And watch how he gets into this DB's body. Pause. It's such a big pause moment. And then he's able to create separation. And then, of course, the chemistry with Joe Burrow, throwing this football before he's out of his break. And look at that, baby. Bang! Now, once again, this is not Dre Bly he's going up against, but it's still impressive. It was from earlier in the game, and one of my favorite things about Jahmyr is his balance, right? I mean, it is unfreaking real. So Joe Burrow throws this ball low and away. How many receivers in the NFL do you know that's able to keep his feet after this catch? Look at that. And he's able to fall forward for an extra 5 freaking yards. It's ridiculous. And once again, his burn ability gives you such easy completions as a quarterback, right? Easy little pitch and catch right here on the very next rep. You love to see it. And honestly, he almost was able to get out of that. Let's go to a rep later in this game. Jahmyr Chase, once again, same corner. And this time the corner is getting more physical with them. Still doesn't matter. Okay, a lot of pressure in Joe's face. Ball's thrown low. Jahmyr's able to make the difficult grab. One thing I really like about JC1 is the ball tracking, okay? So Patrick Queen, obviously his college teammate, running all the way over here. Joe Burrow throws his football still with Queen coming over, and what he does here is what a lot of receivers fail to do. He doesn't let the football come to him. He jumps in front of Patrick Queen, makes him miss, and picks up these very critical yards. And that right there is a 3-point catch, right? That puts you in field goal range. Really good stuff. And here we go. Quarters coverage here, and obviously this corner is playing off. Obviously, I'm a little shocked when T. Higgins went out of the game that they didn't put Porter on Jahmyr Chase more, but look at the separation, right? Obviously, it's a little cut off. Jahmyr sells vertical and is able to get this out route. Look at all this separation. My goodness gracious. That is absolutely insane. That's 4 yards. And then, of course, we got to save the best from this Steelers game for last. And if it's in your heart's desire, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. You get some really good pass pro blitz coming through here. It's a good job by Khalil Herbert picking up Patrick Queen on the blitz. And Joe Burrow with PQ finally breaking through, throws this jump ball right here to Jahmyr. And look at this back shoulder toe tap ballerina act from Jahmyr freaking Chase. I love the Bengal all out. I love to see it. But look at this. Define aura, Siri. She'll show you this catch. Or Siri here. I don't know. They. Whatever. Look at that. Look at that. Man. And this uniform combo is just elite. Top 5 in the NFL, if you ask me. Really, really, really sexy stuff, baby. So, does Saquon Barkley actually deserve this award? When you take a look at his numbers and then you compare it to Jahmyr Chase, as you can see, lots of ones, except, of course, Jahmyr Chase more touchdowns than Saquon. Obviously not apples to apples, and many would point out that Jahmyr Chase has played one more game than Saquon. But the thing that I find to be interesting is I'm not even sure if Saquon Barkley was the best running back in the NFL. In fact, you can make a strong case that there were two. One being Jahmyr Gibbs, who finished with more touchdowns, more fantasy points, with another star running back in his backfield for a good chunk of the season in David Montgomery. You take a look at this. Rushing EPA next to the number of carries, yes, Saquon Barkley leads this category, but a lot of it is because of the amount of carries he had. The same thing is true here. Offensive Player of the Year, I like Ryan McGrane a lot. Some very interesting analytics. Go give him a follow. He has Derrick Henry as that guy. But as you can see, his adjusted yard marks, Jahmyr Chase clears Saquon Barkley pretty easily here. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. These are some advanced analytics from NFL Pro. Jahmyr Chase, you guys have seen the yards, the targets, the routes. He led everyone in that. But when you go to something like receiving EPA, obviously Amon-Ra seems to be very underrated, but Jahmyr Chase was third in receiving EPA. What about YAC? Jahmyr Chase by far the best YAC wide receiver, Devon Achane and Khalil Shakir, along with Brock Bowers there, which is pretty ridiculous as a tight end. And then you look at something like YAC over expected. So what, and I'm not going to explain what all that means. Basically, Jahmyr Chase dominates in this yet again. Then here with Saquon Barkley, you take a look at rush yards over expected per carry. Devon Achane cleared him. Jahmyr Gibbs cleared him. Now, once again, the stat could get a little frisky, but where it gets interesting is here. Stacked box percentage. All right, now, once again, don't pay attention to the quarterbacks, but what's interesting is Derrick Henry faced a stacked box 33.2% of the time, where Saquon Barkley is all the way down here at 20.8% of the time. So Derrick Henry had a tougher go at it. Now, we can get into a debate about stacked boxes and whatnot, but still, it's very interesting. What about rush yards over expected? Derrick Henry obviously slightly over Saquon Barkley here. So to me, I just think the overall gap between Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley isn't as wide for this season as Jahmyr Chase and every other wide receiver in the NFL. I am looking at you. Come in a little bit closer, okay? Now, I would not mind if Saquon Barkley won the award. It's close, but I could see Derrick Henry. I could see Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe I need to give more love to Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson or someone like that. I don't know. But Jahmyr Chase should get it. Now, as you can see, might be a little biased towards my LSU guy, but it's close. I'm fine with either. Now, floating in your face, my dream Blue Balls Super Bowl matchup prediction. Let's go. NS Power Hour NFL. Boom. And tonight we are doing steaks.